Hey girls, I wanted to create a little video. You guys have been asking me to do more tutorials on how to make printables. So let's start with something very basic, and it's going to be headers. So let's open up our studio. I am using the new 4.0. I highly recommend that you update if you haven't already. So we're going to close this. So you got your brand new file open for you, and we're going to go up to the very top right here to the open page setup panel. We're going to go over here to the third little one, and it's registration marks, and we're going to turn the style from off to cameo, portrait, or curio. And of course, if you have an original silhouette, you would want to use type 2. Okay, then your first panel here, if you have a cameo, then you'll want to change the matte to cameo. But for our purposes, you can leave it on the silhouette. I do not recommend that you adjust the inset or the length and thickness of these lines here. As you can see, make it thinner or thicker, because it can cause you to have registration failures. If anything, you can adjust the right and left insets. However, if you do not line it up exactly right on your portrait or cameo, it's gonna registration fail. Like, there's little lines on the portrait and cameo to line it up. So I would say that the reason I don't recommend it is because I feel like that's more of a little bit of an advanced user. So if you're just starting out and you're not sure of how to use your silhouette, I would just say leave the advanced options alone. They're advanced for a reason. Let's just say that. So we're done with that, and we're going to go over here to the rectangle on the left hand side, and we're just going to draw a rectangle, and we're going to go up to the select marker, and we're going to select it, and up here at the top you're going to type in 1.500, and then for width, and then for height you're going to type in 250, and you're going to hit enter to make it that size. Make sure your lock aspect ratio is off. If it's on, it's not going to work. It's going to, once you hit the 1.5 for width, it's going to lock the aspect, and it's not going to go to the correct height that you want. Okay, so we have this little box here, and I like to start at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, scroll down, and I'm going to get it lined up here at the bottom, not too close to the red. And I'm going to go over here to the right, and I'm going to open the fill panel, and I'm just going to choose a color for right now. And I'm leaving the red line on. If you want to make sure that you have a little bit, well, let's back up. Let's not change the color right now. So say you want to have a little bit of room in case your silhouette doesn't cut perfectly, and there's always a little bit of white on the sides. I have that problem. I know a lot of people do. What like printed shops do is they have like what I would say like an offcut area. So let's do that. We're gonna set this up so it has offcut. So we're replicate. Nope. So let's just go ahead and close all those windows, and we're gonna go to the offset panel. Now we're going to click offset selected shape, and then I'm going to do the corners as straight, and then I usually do a 0.25 offset, so I'm going to change the 1 to a 0 and hit enter. Alright, and then you can hit apply, and then you can close that window. Now with the box behind still highlighted, we're going to go to line style and make it transparent, and then not touching anything, making sure that's still highlighted. We'll go to fill and fill the color. And then let's zoom in so you can see what it did. Now it's giving you a little bit of room in case your silhouette prints off. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is open, well, let's close these here. Okay, then we're going to open the text style panel. I like to use Happy Camper. You can get this font for free if you want to match fonts that I use for my printables. So we have that selected. We're going to select 0.18, and we're going to go over here to the left side and hit text. We're just going to kind of center it over here a little and type in what our first header is going to be, a to-do header. Alright, so I'm just going to put it in here for now. I'm going to go back up to line. I don't want it to have a line because I don't want it to cut. So I'm going to make it transparent. While it's still highlighted, I'm going to go here and fill it with white color. Okay. And I want this to kind of be lined up in the center. So I'm going to left click with my mouse and then drag it down to highlight everything. Then I'm going to go here to the transform panel, and I'm going to click on horizontal, the center one. Do not click vertical because it's not going to, well, I'll just show you. It made it too far. You see how it made it too far down? It didn't really put it in the center. No. I want to make sure these are centered. So that's perfect. Even if you tried to highlight all of it and hit center, it's still not going to. It does not work that way. You can do the horizontal center, but that's it. Okay, sorry. So you're just gonna have to physically click on the to-do, and then I usually just click the arrow up or down to kind of visually center it. Alright, so that looks great. The next thing I want to do is group this together. So I'm gonna, like I did before, left click, select it all, and then Control G, or you can right click and then select group. So I'm going to group this, and I want to go back to the transform. We're going to, replicate. We're going to replicate it 1 over. And we're going to do it again and again. Alright, now I'm going to click on this last one. I'm going to deselect all of it, and then I'm going to re-click this one, and I'm going to move it almost to the hash marks. We want to stay out of that area. Now I'm going to select all of it by right or left clicking my mouse and dragging it and selecting it all. Then I'm going to go here and I'm going to space this horizontal so it's evenly spaced that way. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is ungroup all of it, so I'll just select it all again like we've been doing and right click up to ungroup. Okay, now if you ungroup it again, it's going to ungroup the word or the font, and you don't want to do that. So we have to do, and I want this one to be today, and this one I want to be little things. Now this is going to be a little too over that way. Now if I went like this, let me show you what it's going to do. See, we don't want to do that. Control Z to undo it. And we're going to click the little things here. And then I'm going to hit my left arrow but over just a bunch and kind of semi-center it. Now I can select it all and hit horizontal. Okay, and this one is going to be kind of sidebar stuff, so I'll just start with whatever this week. And then of course you'll want to do the same thing, and then now you can center it. Excuse me, I have to take a little drink. Okay. Now I'm going to select it all. I'm going to group it. And now I'm going to duplicate it above. I'm just going to keep duplicating it above. All the way up. Just going to keep hitting that until I get to the top up here. Okay. Now I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to hit that vertical just to make sure. Actually, I want to look here at the top. Yeah, I can move this up just slightly. Okay, now I'm going to select all of them and then vertically space it, so just gives it a just tiny bit of more room. I'm going to do that again one more time. Okay, now if you can see right here, some of the to-dos are in this hash marks. So I want to select, right click, select all, right click, ungroup. Now everything is ungrouped, and I'm going to delete these two here. Now, obviously I don't want all of these to say this week, so you'll have to literally go in. Let's just focus on that real quick. Go in, say I want some to say this week, and then I want some to say goals. This is a little bit more time consuming. Dinners. Workout, school. I'm just putting a few in here just to show you something. Maybe work. Sorry. Okay. Now I want to make sure they're all centered, so I'm just going to drag, left click and highlight a bunch of them, and then go over here to the horizontal. It's going to put them that way. Okay. So you can individually change colors. The easiest way is going to just kind of zoom in and click on the color you want. And make sure on fill, and then just click it here, and you can change the colors. Now if I was doing this for myself, I would have, before I made all of them this way, I would have probably just like, you know, grouped a couple, duplicated them, and then changed the color on a few, and then update, you know, and then just kept going through. But you can change the colors however you want. So you just kind of click in the color, make sure you're, you know, changing the actual color and not the red, you know, the fill of the red line. If you're worried that you've accidentally moved stuff while you were clicking in here, because it happens really easily, you can do that same thing where you drag, you know, right click drag, and then just re-center everything. We didn't do that with today or the little things, I don't think. So I'm done changing my colors. I'm just going to make sure everything's centered up. You can put some stuff on the side if you wanted. You could just highlight two of these. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Go over here and rotate 90 degrees and put some here. You can usually put 5 going this way. So I could just highlight this one and duplicate it below. And you'll have to move it down a little. once you're done changing all your colors, sometimes I will use Pinterest to pick like a color palette. So you could go to Pinterest. It's summer, so let's say summer color palettes. I'll pick 2017. Here's one, Pantone Trends. Let's just go to that blog or whatever it is. No, I hate when it does that. Okay, let's go back to here. Let's try and right click, copy image, go back to our silhouette, left click, paste. I pasted it in there. I'm going to move it off to the side. And now what I was going to show you could do if you're not good at picking colors to match, you could just hold, so you click this one and then just click shift, hold down shift as you're clicking to highlight. I'm going to do every 6. I'm going to change every 6 to a different color. So I highlighted 6 of those. Let's zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better, and I'm just clicking in the pink. And I'm going to do that for 6 colors. Then I'm going to go up here to the fill, get my little eyedropper. I'm going to scroll, oops, that's alright, I'm going to scroll over here. Up to the top, eyedropper. Okay. And now it's changed it to that color. Well, we can do that again. Just click, hold down shift. And click your 6 of them. Eyedropper. Let's go with pink this time. Oh, these are actually turned out really pretty. Okay. And the reason I want to do this is I want to show you how easy it is, once you have this template done, how easy you can change colors. So let's go back to our dropper. Let's do this orange color. Okay. You know, we should have done 7 each. I don't know what I was thinking, 6, but anyway. There's 7 days in a week. So we should have chose 7 each. Oops. Let's go with the green. And we'll go with the and then I want to choose these colors. Now I can unclick let go of everything and hold down shift to grab the rest of them once I scroll down. Okay, let's see. Let's just choose the orange. Okay, let's move this out of our way. So now we have our colors separated a little bit better. Like I said, I probably wasn't thinking, and you should have done 7. So you can go up here to edit and select by color. Go to fill. It's not working. What? Sometimes you have to love Silhouette. Let's go save this. Save to hard drive. Name it Headers Now let's see if our colors are going to show up right. Okay, select by color. There we go. Now we can select, and it's going to select the green. Say that I don't want that green, I want it to be a different color. You can select different colors to change it to. So like I said, once you have, we don't want to do that. Let's Control Z. So once you've picked, once you've set up your file, it'll be easy for you to change the colors. And then like I said, if you want to make sure everything's lined up before you send a silhouette, I would do this little thing because it's easy to move stuff around when you're clicking in those. It looks good. Alright, so then we're going to go up here. We're going to save it one more time just so we don't forget. And then we're going to click on Send. Come on. We're going to go to Send. Now you can see it just lit up everything. So the first thing we're going to do here in Materials is scroll down because we're using sticker paper. Okay. And I clicked off because this was highlighted and I didn't want it to be selected. So I just left clicked to unselect it. Action 2, step 2, we're going to go to line because we want to choose where it cuts. So we only want to select the RGB red. And that's already chosen the sticker paper. If it doesn't, you can click on the little arrow and choose sticker paper. The action is cut. We're using the ratchet blade. Down here at the bottom, you will choose the correct speed that you're using, or correct blade. So you need to adjust it by using the arrows. You can adjust the speed. I recommend you turn it down even though it takes a little bit longer to cut, but it will cut your edges better. Your thickness, you'll have to play with it. The thickness is how deep it's going to cut. When you're pulling your stickers off the paper, if it's noticing that it's cutting too deep, you'll need to lower the thickness. If it's not cutting deep enough, you increase your thickness. You will not want to use double pass on stickers. You can do a test cut. It will test a little square in the upper left hand side of your printable. It will not affect the rest of your sheet. The next thing that we're going to do is send it. My portrait's powered off right now. There we go. Okay. Sorry. That was my, because when I turned my printer on, it made that waterfall sound. Okay, so then you would just click Send or Start, and it's going to send it to cut. Before you need to print though. That's a very important step. So you go to File and Print, and then you would choose your settings. Just so you know, I use as you can see right here, a Canon MB, I think it's a 2020, but it's a 2000 series Maxify Canon. It's a business printer combo thing. You can print with your settings. This is the settings I use: plain paper. I use online labels, waterproof matte, and high print quality. And I print, and then you would send it. There are some advanced settings. I don't really use any of those. If you're having issues with it not cutting correctly, you can right click on the portrait and go to calibration and do some of that kind of different thing where it basically you print the calibration test page and you load it into your Silhouette and you follow the steps. I watched a couple videos on how to do that and the distance adjustment, but honestly, I've never had to really adjust the distance, and my calibration usually always is on, even though it cuts off a little. I will tell you, the more light you have that is directly shining on the front of your machine, the better. You might think it's enough light. A flashlight from your cell phone is not enough. It will create shadows and cause it not to cut correctly. So, light. Lots and lots of light. The more the better. And I did not think that this was true until I tested it. And I now have 2 different lights that I use that I shine on the front, and I can 100% tell you that my cuts have been way better since I added more light. And I don't shine it directly on top, I shine it onto the front of the machine. You can get them on Amazon, little clip LED lights for like $10. I just got 2. I pull out my machine and I just put my 2 little lights shining on it, and I'm good to go. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. Make sure that you like this up if you want me to keep making these videos. If you have suggestions on what you would like to see next, please let me know. And thanks for watching.